Let's face it, the brake lights on a vintage Volkswagen Beetle suck. They come on way too late. We found a fix for that. Unlike modern cars that have a switch on the pedal to operate the brake lights, our vintage VW Beetles actually depend on the pressure in the master cylinder to turn on the brake lights. That's why there's such a lag. We'll be installing this kit that puts a switch right down on the brake pedal. Let's take a look at what comes in the kit. Wire, obviously. This is actually copper strand wire. It is not aluminum wire, which is what some people try to pass off on you. This is good wire. Here's a bracket that's going to hold the switch down by the brake pedal. Here's the switch itself. This little metal piece will be up against the brake pedal, and there's a little tiny switch behind there that you can barely see, and that's, can you hear it? That's the switch activating. So when the brake pedal hits it like this, it's turned off, but the moment you touch the brake pedal, the switch comes on. I'm not a big fan of this. It looks dainty. Time will tell, how it works out. You also get a little bag of hardware. In it, we have the hardware to mount the switch to that little bracket. Looks like little nylon lock nuts. We have these, what I call piggyback terminals. A couple of other just standard type of terminals. They call these terminals flag terminals. I just call them 90-degree terminals, but call them what you want. They also include some pretty darn good instructions. It's all step by step, and in the back it shows for the different years of where to tie in your wires at. This is better than most kits like this. This is the spot right here. This bolt is where that switch is going to get mounted at with that bracket. As you can see, now this is one of the reasons why I'm so concerned about that switch. This is the Baja Bug, and we take it off-road quite often. And as you can see, I'll pull back the mat. That's what it normally looks like in here. Look at all the dirt and the rocks and leaves and everything. I'm just afraid that switch is going to get plugged up with all that debris and stop working. But, like I said before, time will tell. I think I can save myself a lot of time and hassle by first putting the switch on this bracket. One little annoyance I just noticed is instead of Phillips, they use slotted bolts. Not a deal breaker, but just I would prefer Phillips. And that's on. Since there is little to no room down there by the pedals, I'm also going to put these terminals on before I contort myself to get down there. I'm going to try to use my nice crimpers on here to see. No, I can't use it. So, vice grips. There, they won't go anywhere. I did go and dig up the instructions. It says that these wires have to go onto the switch in a particular way. I am not totally convinced that that's necessary, but I'm just going to do what they tell me. So the red wire goes onto the terminal marked NC, and it's marked on the back here. And NC is this one. So red wire to there. Boy, there we go. Now, I'll give you two guesses where this one hooks up. I'm assuming here, but let's make sure. COM, it says COM. Black goes to terminal marked COM. Like that. We have our pedal adjusted properly down here where it goes into the master cylinder. And Mary's in the back, and she's going to tell me exactly when the brake lights come on. We are sitting at 8.5 inches.
Now.
That is 6.5 inches. So 2 inches of travel before our brake lights come on. First I have to remove this bolt. This is a little awkward because I'm doing it from the passenger seat, so you can see through the camera what I'm doing. Hopefully it won't be a problem. This new switch is going to be right underneath the gas pedal. And I've got a goofy gas pedal in here. It's kind of aftermarket, so hopefully it's going to work. If it doesn't, this is going to be a really short video. My God, that's a long bolt. Do they really need a bolt this long? Holy cow, look at the length of the bolt. Alright, so I've got the switch on the bracket, the bolt through the bracket. I'll just move this wire over onto the other side for now. Never been a big fan of working underneath the dash. Okay, now, somehow I have to position this. Huh. Well, let's tighten it down a little bit more. I'm seeing kind of a problem here. A bit of a problem. This is my problem. This is the contact. That's the little switch down in there. So this, when it's pushed in, the switch is off. Now it's on. And it gets pushed in by this part of the brake pedal assembly. But this part down here is touching the bracket that the switch is on, preventing the switch from touching up here. Unfortunately, it won't compress in like it's supposed to. Now, I don't know if that's because I got a goofy pedal assembly or what the problem is there, but my solution is I'm going to grind a little bit of this bracket off right here in this corner. Hopefully that'll work. Let's try it again. See, I ground a little bit off of there. Yeah, this is an aftermarket pedal assembly. So I bet you that if you have a stock pedal assembly still, it'll probably work without having to do this. But you never know. Sometimes with these aftermarket parts, they don't work in every single application. All right, let's see if I can get that switch up on there now. I think so. I heard it clicking. There we go. That did it. There's not much distance from closed and open on the pedal. That's it right there. That's right up against the pedal. And there it is open. Or on, I should say. The switch is on. Okay, I'm going to tighten it down and move forward then. Now, let's see where it comes in, how this gas pedal functions with it. Boy, it's right down on it. It's right down on that bracket. It's not on the switch, not touching the switch, which is good. I'm going to have to make sure that the throttle's all the way open when it reaches that point. All right, let's wire it up. The instructions say to run it underneath the carpet, then supposedly there's a wiring harness that goes up around here, which mine is long gone because this is just a total custom build with its own wiring now. So I am going to run it through a little hole I have right here in the firewall. And this goes right to the master cylinder. And I'm going to wire this in differently than what they say in the instructions too, because like I said, my wiring is totally different under the hood. Even at the master cylinder, it's much different than stock. So the instructions describe really quite well to run one wire to a particular spot on the factory fuse box, and then the other wire to that three-way connector for your turn signals. I think it's for the left turn signal up here. But as you can see, we've completely redone all the wiring in this. So I'm going to tie our wires down into the actual old school brake light switch on the master cylinder. Here's our wire coming through the firewall or the bulkhead from the pedal. And I'm going to tie into this switch on the master right here. Now you'll notice I have three-way switches on here because I do have a low pressure warning light on the dash that I wired in. But we're going to tie into this one and this one. This green wire down here on the bottom, that's our pressure, our low pressure switch. Now before I go hooking anything up, I'm going to see which one of these is the power from the battery and which goes out to the lights. That's from the battery right there. So that's the one that we're going to connect our red wire to. The black wire will go on here, off to the lights. I'm going to cut the wires about right here. Give me plenty of extra wire to move around down in there. Now, I am a big believer of adhesive lined shrink tubing, especially down here where there's going to be some moisture. You know, the road is going to kick up a bunch of rain and mud and dirt and everything, so I like to put shrink tubing on. And the adhesive helps to really secure these connectors on too. Let's put that on. Crimp them down. Yep, that's on there good. And you'll see these are the piggyback type of connectors where all we'll have to do is unplug the wire from the master cylinder switch, plug this in, plug that wire back on there. So we're good to go. There you see, I have them plugged into our switch on the master. And one nice thing about this is if that switch goes bad, the one I just put in goes bad, the brake lights will still come on through these switches on the master. So, you know, it's a added protection for you, I guess. And I'll zip tie this up so it's not dangling around this wire here. Okay, let's see how much pedal travel it takes now, which I think you and I both know the answer to that. Here we are at 8.5 inches. Right there. We are about 8 1/4, 8 3/16 of an inch throw. So yeah, much better. And you can hear the switch clicking on. I'm really leery about that switch. And another reason why I'm leery about it is when you go to their website, which I'll put a link to the website where you can get this down in the video description. When you go there, right next to the picture of this kit being sold is a replacement switch. So they may have a history of this switch not lasting very long, but we'll see. I think it's worth a shot. It's absolutely much better than the brake lights going off of the pressure switch down here at the brakes, the brake master. So I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think it's worth 40 bucks. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. leave a comment, and we hope you consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching.